There's no Santos. Wilfred Santos. He's supposed to be good. It's all right. Bless you. Sure.
We're ready to go. Yeah, but I just saw all the parties. You're in the right. Perspective.
Everybody's here for that?
Party.
Oh, you guys are working.
Let's just say we're covered. Yes.
All right. District Court Department 12 is now in session. Councilman Michelle Levin presiding. Come to order, be seated, please.
Good morning. Who's ready? Your Honor, Mr. Manigo and I are ready on page 25 and 20. What pages are there?
25 and 26 versus Ramirez.
That's correct.
Case C 34712 and Fernandez.
I just got to grab the Spanish or
Yes. The interpreter is present. Will you please state your name for the record?
Ricardo Pico, Spanish interpreter.
Making their appearances.
Good morning, Your Honor. Pam Barkley on behalf of the state.
Okay, and you represent,
I represent Mr. Ramirez last year, Your Honor. He's in the back.
okay, Mr. Mabel, you represent Mr.
Ms. Fernandez, yes, good morning, Your Honor.
We just need to set it for trial, is my understanding. The client did waive
Both of those items.
both of them. How much time do you need?
Mr. Manigo and I were discussing early summer next year. It's fine. Status trial readiness is going to be November 6th at 8:30 a.m. The trial conference, April 15th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. Calendar call, April 29th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. Jury trial, May 5th, 2025 at 10:30. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, and I would just request that the interpreter and I can speak to my client in the box.
Absolutely.
That was, sorry, Nathan.
Yes.
Your Honor,
Sorry.
I have, if that's okay, Malik Jones with Ms. McAmis, because we should be her. Thank you.
Case versus Monique Jones, AC 346578. Good morning. Mr. Jones is present. He's in custody.
Good morning, Your Honor. Pam Weckerly and Michael Schwartz are on behalf of the state.
And good morning, Caitlin, my name is bar number 12616, Christina Roosevelt office.
Okay. Have you spoken to your client since you filed this motion?
Yes, and this seems to just be calendared after the fact. He understands that based on your prior rulings, that this is not going to go forward for him. So I think he's just going to submit it.
Okay. Mr. Jones?
Prior
Go ahead.
to my last, trying to have removal of counsel, self-representation, I was denied, so there's no point for the motion to go forward. I'm just gonna be denied again, so I'll let counsel.
This was filed during trial, correct?
Yes, it was filed
And
before.
it was just delayed and being put on calendar?
Yeah,
Okay. How close are we to being able to set a penalty phase?
So I have an update on a lot of the records requests, not all positive, but so one of our school district requests came back no records. One is still no answer. It's unclear if there's going to be an answer. There's some mental health records that from Lakes Crossing that we thought we had, we didn't. I spoke with the state about that, so that should be a quick turnaround. And then there's some social security stuff that we're still waiting on, and so I was going to ask for 2 more weeks to have a better update on some of the longer ones, like the out-of-state mental health records before we set this, if that's okay with the board.
So, yeah, like I have the Lakes Crossing stuff, those other items we don't have, because they're unique to him, but, in California, it sounds like, but 2 weeks is fine.
2 weeks, would we be any court order intervention by the courts?
That's what I don't need to overspeak, that's what my investigator and I are speaking about, is we need to get more, record production.
Okay.
Continued status check is going to be August 21st at 8:30 a.m.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, the last one I have that's quick is James Holmes with Mr.
In that procedure. 368820. Good morning. He is present in custody. Is your client well enough or in a position that we can set trial?
Your Honor, yes, we can. They had taken him for the surgery and then there was a glitch and so they had to cancel it. They're rescheduling his surgery. It's imminent that they're gonna have that done. So if we could just set a trial date, maybe January, is that convenient to the court?
That's fine.
Status check, trial readiness is going to be November 6th at 8:30 a.m. Pre-trial conference, January 7th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. Calendar call, January 21st, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. Jury trial, January 27th, 2025 at 10:30.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your
very
Honor.
much.
Your Honor, I apologize for missing yesterday.
Oh,
That
no.
was a scheduling issue.
Well, I'm glad you're back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Can we please call Carter and is that?
State versus Carter, PC 353883. Good morning. He is present and he's in custody. Who's the district?
Already saw him.
Mr. Henders, he was here. He's out in the hall, he's out talking to a couple of the CAs on Rapid.
I'm sorry, that's right.
Who's present? You want to make your representations?
Yes, good morning, Caitlin. My name is bar number 12616 with Christina Roosevelt office on behalf of Martha Carter, also Audrey Fuma present. Your Honor, we have been meeting, we seem to be on track and gearing up for the March 2025 trial date. We're still working on our experts, but we've got a lot of them doing their parts. So that's our status.
Nothing at this point is going to prevent us from going forward.
Nothing that we can do.
Anticipating, right?
Continued status check is going to be November 6th at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Who else has Mr. Hammer on the DA side?
I did, Your Honor. Mine's good. Page 19.
C versus Gino Julian. And we have Mr. Draskovich here as well.
He's not here, but his
Are you
counsel
here
is here.
Oh, it's Jeff.
Yes.
Yeah. So Julian and Jacobo, C
Yeah, Mr. Yacob.
377696. Okay, both present. And you're in here for Mr. Jacobo.
Sure, William Brown for Mr. Yacob and Mr. Draskovich was.
Okay, can I have representation regarding,
The writ, I spoke with Mr. Adosta about the writ, we anticipate starting on Telus on Monday, so we were just asking for a little more time. She didn't have any objections. I think we previously even asked this for the defense as well, to have a little extra time to get something filed, or at least argument on it. So if we could just have 30 days, I think that's what we talked about, right?
I think, yeah, if we could do the argument, maybe, I think like the second week of September would give Mr. Hamner about 30 days to file a written response. He can get it sometime that week before.
set for hearing?
Hearing is going to be on September 12th at 8:30 a.m.
Okay, how are you as far as getting ready for trial?
Working towards it, Your Honor. Obviously, kind of depending on what happens with the writ, it'll determine, if we have as many charges to be, because some of them are, it's a little scattered in this particular case. There's separate allegations, separate residences, things like that. So, but at this point, I anticipate we would be ready for a February trial, unless there's some new discovery that is turned over. But as of right now, I think I have everything the state has.
Nothing I hear. I anticipate that we will be ready in February as well, barring something else.
Anticipate being ready.
Continued status check is going to be November 6th at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, now Mr. Draskovich. Oh, can we call Telus now?
Yeah, we're ready
Is
for
that
it.
right, everybody here? State versus Telus, C 368935. He's present, he's in custody. Okay, good morning.
Morning, Robert Draskich on his behalf.
Good morning, Your Honor. No, Markley and Cassandra on behalf of the state.
I'm David Chavez, 1.1 and 2 on behalf of the Review Journal, and present via Zoom is Ashley Kissinger.
Is she had signed in under your name?
I guess so.
Okay. Good morning. All right, can we have an update?
Yeah.
We are still on track to produce by August 12th, beginning of the trial date.
So the first day of trial.
Yes, Your Honor, which is, I think, Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
That's Monday.
Okay,
We,
well, how's that gonna affect, it doesn't look like we're starting on Monday.
Yeah, depending upon what's exactly going to be turned over at this time, obviously, we want to keep our trial date and we want to
Sure.
proceed. What time does Your Honor generally begin jury selection? What time does Your Honor plan on beginning jury selection?
Right, we already have our panel, because we have the
Yes.
questionnaire,
Correct.
so we could,
What time would be present with the potential jurors?
right, we would probably have to start at 11 a.m. on Monday. Or, we could start earlier and then just take a break for that hearing. I have a hearing set at 10:30.
Could you start perhaps at 1 o'clock on Monday? I think
Sure, do you need to start in the afternoon?
I think that would be better given the current circumstances.
Right, maybe you guys can get the documents and then be prepared to inform the court whether you can proceed.
Yeah, are they producing Monday morning? Because that's or Monday at 5.
So,
Question,
yeah, so our plan is to produce on Monday morning.
okay, are you gonna come here and produce them here? How are you gonna be produced?
So when we produce the information from the laptop, I dropped them off at everyone's respective offices. I was prepared to do the same thing for the laptop.
Okay,
We will be flying in an expert to review everything in short matter. So, I mean, he's arriving over the weekend, so yeah, Monday morning would be obviously preferable.
okay. And we can just continue on matter till Monday at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And then we can make a determination as to how we're gonna proceed and whether we start with jury selection. Okay, how many witnesses does the state have and how long do you think it will take?
We have about 20 witnesses. We think we will finish, well, it kind of depends on jury selection and this timing a little bit, but I believe we'll be done with our case at the end of the day on Friday.
So about 5 judicial days?
Yes.
We have at least a dozen witnesses noticed up. We have potential expert witnesses. I would anticipate our case in chief lasting well into the next week. So,
Okay, so 10 days,
correct.
all right? And the attorneys that are gonna be trying the case, they're all here today?
Mr. Horvath will be accompanying me. He's covering other matters, but yes, for the state.
We'll be here.
All righty, so Monday at 1 o'clock, we also have a couple of motions on. I don't know, do you wanna argue them today?
The matters have been, I'd be happy to argue on Monday, court's pleasure. Everything's been laid out, our position's laid out. These issues have been addressed in different ways previously. We just wanted to make sure that the record was complete.
Okay, and we can decide on Monday.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
We do have one other matter. I got a call yesterday. We have a licensed private investigator who predates my involvement in this
Okay.
case. He called me last night. He was concerned he's being denied visitation. We prepared an order. We don't have any issues. We've come this far. He needs to have access to my client during regular visitation hours. He was taking some paperwork, legal paperwork. He was denied access. To be honest, this can't happen, especially now.
Well, what was the reason?
They just said that certain investigators, certain private investigators are not to have access, contact visits with defendants, which obviously is violative of the Department of Justice guidelines. I
Have you
haven't,
been going to the jail?
he has been up until yesterday, yes. And obviously, with all that's going on, obviously I need the investigator, a licensed investigator, we don't have access
Who is
to my
it?
client. Rick Frankie. I have an order that's prepared, I showed it to the state, that just says that he's to have access to my client, to our client during business, during the non-lockdown hours.
He's been going over there routinely and
He has been, yes,
just yesterday,
correct.
no reason?
None that he was given, other than that they've now changed the policy concerning non-attorney visits. And he went there with paperwork to give Mr. Tellis.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Want me to sign each one?
Or we could make copies. I would just ask that we have a file stamp copy so Mr. Frankie can go to the jail with a file stamp copy.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court will make sure you get it. On Monday at 1 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else ready?
Yes, thanks. If we could, start with page 14, Mr. Garbarino. Oh, sorry.
Is C 374014. Good morning, he is present, he's in custody. All right. Looks like there's someone conference set.
We do. For the 20th, we have a employment conference, which we're looking forward to. And then other than that, I don't have any other discovery issues with Ms. Renee. I know that an expert that we've been in contact with, we're waiting for some information back.
A extensive list of additional information you'll be seeking in order to file an amended petition. I'm going to have to go through determinations, of course, number one, as to whether or not to permit an amended petition.